Hey guys, Grand Rising, happy Sunday. So I came in here, I'm uploading, I know we're on the same shit. I'm uploading a video right now. The thumbnail is ghost stories. And as I was walking in getting some more coffee, coming in from outside, I was getting the message of, I have another story to tell. I've said this before in another video, but for some reason, this supernatural sesh needs to come out. So as I was putting my board up here and putting my thing on here, these cards came out. They fell on the floor. So I thought I'd show these ones that fell on the floor. I heard the devil's in the underbelly. Whatever that means. Speaking of the devil, so I was riding around with this kid. He's a man, but I call him kid. Because he's 26 years my junior, and it's when I was trying to go on the road, and he was my driver. You know, he had his manipulation, and I knew about it, but it was something I had to do for whatever reason. He has a huge calling on his life. I don't know if he's doing it or not. I hope he is, but I mean, I even told this whole family. People probably thought I was totally nuts, but I don't fucking care. When you have to do God's work, you have to do God's work. You know? So his sister and him and myself were on our way to church one Sunday. This church we were going to. And he was driving. I was in the back seat. His sister was in the front seat. And 222. And I had this overwhelming feeling something was trying to make me jump out of the car window. I know. And I put my hands around and I'm crying and I'm saying, don't let me do it. We're listening to gospel music, you know, Christian music and stuff. And I, at one point I even rolled down the window. I felt a force that was trying to take over my body and make me jump out of a car while I was conscious of it. I was aware. One got left behind when I went to pick him up. One got left behind when I went to pick... Oh, so anyway, so everything we say is going to be part. Everything we say is always part of a message. I didn't jump out the window. I almost did. On the fucking highway going over 70 miles an hour. In traffic. We show up to church, and I'm sitting there, and a part of me, 333, a part of me just wanted to run up on stage, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on with me. So I ended up walking out, and a couple women came to minister to me, and I'm telling them all this stuff, and they're just looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. I had to leave service that day and go sit out in the car. I just felt like they weren't telling the truth. I don't know. I just felt like I was sitting in demonic shit. I don't know. It was really strange. That's really the only time that I've felt like I had something take over me. That's not the only time something has taken over me, but that was the only time something tried to kill my person. That tried to get me to jump out of a window. I'll never forget that. And I was sober. Oh, I think we had a couple drinks. Well, that's probably why. I had a couple sips off of beer or something. I know, on the way to church, how fucking lame, right? I get it. Yeah, and he's a Sagittarius. I told him messages. I don't know if he's ever listened. Might be coming about now. Maybe that's why all of this is coming up. But, oh man, also, when we went to Colorado, the second time we went to Colorado, I paid for a motel room for a month. I was so sick then. But I knew we were fighting a lot and we weren't getting along at all. And I felt like there was something else there, right? Trying to make us mad at each other and fight. And I was so sick. I had to go to I was so sick. I was so fucking sick. 555. It was horrendous the whole time. The whole time I was so sick. And, yeah, judgment's going to be called on that. And we're driving probably to go to a dispensary. I think, yeah, we were driving to go to a dispensary. And it felt like something sucked off of me. And in my mind's eye, I could see this black thing. The hag, like, you know, this black demon thing. It looked like the same thing that was on Jason. Suck off of me. And I felt like I was 20. Like, I felt so great for just a short time. But I knew that there had to be something. Well, I sent him away, and then I come across this, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to move all my stuff. I don't know how I'm going to get my stuff to storage. I don't know where I'm going to go. I had no car. I gave my car away. Sent him away. He never came back. He already moved on with some other chick, I'm sure. But whatever. Who cares? And I went to go have breakfast, and I just knew something was going to show up. Well, this lady shows up. I'll drive you, right? She's sitting outside. She's like, good morning. I'm like, good morning. She started talking to me. I said, well, I'll be in there in a second. So I went and I sat with her, and she's like, what can I do for you? Oh, God. This is all coming around. So I went to go stay with this other friend of ours. My daughter grew up best friends with him, you know, and he always hung out with Poppy, you know, since they were kids, and Mike was like another dad to him, you know. Mike just passed away. Mike was an Aries. And he, by the way, is a Leo, so it's not, and the other one was a fire sign, right? Sag. The lovers. And that. So anyway, he said I can go to his house, and that was like 4.5 hours away, right? In Oak Creek. Over by Steamboat in Colorado. And I was in Colorado Springs, Manitou. Right by Manitou. And my stuff is still in Colorado Springs in storage, actually, since 2021. I've never been able to get back there. So anyway, this lady, you know, I'll drive you. So she drives. Meanwhile, while we were driving, we lost time. Like a whole hour or so. Just gone. So that was an interesting thing. So we show up and we get to his house, and we're doing some shrooms or whatever, and he looks at me and he goes, she's a demon, right? She stayed a few days, and, you know, she's wanting my soul, saying, you know, I can have this, I can have that. And I'm thinking, all right, whatever. Well, ever since we showed up there, you know, this kid, we used to be kind of, I mean, I thought we were kind of close, but ever since that time we showed up there, he just has never looked at me. It's like, almost like a spell had been put on him, almost. Like he drank the tea. And, I don't know, blames it on me that I brought a demon there. Technically, she drove me. But blame me, that makes a lot of sense. I had no idea. how do I know it wasn't you that sent her? You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I don't know about any of that, but so ever since then, it's been different. To each his own, whatever. Who cares? But it's like, all of these fucking things happen. And there's key players. But that's just the recent past. Right? I was going to say, see, I think the devil rides on all their backs. Because they do drugs. They do the one devil drug that gets you there, right? That lets these fucking demons latch onto you. Or they wouldn't have that methamphetamine out. To keep you in your head, to give you illusions, to make you fucking go crazy. And this other kid, not the one that I was riding around with, but the other one where that he says demon gave me a ride. I don't know, whatever. I've seen pictures at his mom took a picture. She had it on her phone, and there was a lady with a white hat, and I've seen her in on the cameras when I've been at their house. It's a lady with dark hair, a bigger lady, not fat, but a bigger lady, with one of those big white hats. Yeah, probably, what were her clothes like? Anyway, in the reflection of the window, you could see her sitting there with these demon things. Well, I've seen that demon face before. Actually, in Jason, my friend Jason, his granddaughter, it was Halloween time, and she had her costume on, and in the back of the picture, in the back of her costume was that demon face. That same one. Weird, but I mean, that house is full of, yeah. And she's schizophrenic, but thinks everything is real. But I don't know. I don't conversate with any of them anymore. But the supernatural things, you know, and when I was living in Bonner Springs, oh God, there was something there that was doing the same thing with the guy I was seeing then, Doug. Oh God, that place was fucked off so bad. That's where the aliens were around the bed, cloaked. Come to find out, his baby mama of his first child died, and she had been using my human. And when that came about, because I lived her death like it was me. That was odd. But that's when I realized, holy fuck, and I looked around and I'm like, was any of this real? Do I even like this guy? Or was she controlling me the whole time without my knowledge? Ugh, you feel so yucky on the inside. So yucky. Oh, you just want to scrub your insides out. It's almost like being, what rhymes with graped? You know, you want to clean your insides out, but I wanted to scrub the inside of my entire body. Ugh. It's like that. Ugh. It was so nasty. And it was so confusing. But that place, but I remember there was something whispering, not really whispering in our ear, but you know how you would call it, like something getting in your head that would make us fight. The same things were happening to us, but for some reason we weren't speaking. But I just remember one time I had to get away from it, so I went from the basement upstairs to the bedroom, and I'm laying there, and this something is making me mad. It's making me mad, and it's like, kill, kill. And I was like, what? Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. So many crazy things. But finding out about. But when I was with him, because see, I can't even remember her name now. Shh, don't speak it. But, Carla. Thank you for reminding me. I had to have a talk with Carla. I'm like, Carla, look, I'll talk to them for you, but none of that fucking around. And, you know, you cannot come into this body. No. Absolutely not. But when I was with Doug, I would have memories. I could see pictures in my head of places I'd never been. It's like I was in a relationship with him in another time, in another lifetime, but this lifetime. That's probably because of Carla. Yeah, so many things, you know. Yeah, he was a very violent person. It's pretty bad. But, you know, I hold no grudges. I knew going into it because I was asked. He was taking care of his cousin. I think it was his cousin, Wayno. May he rest in peace. Mentally challenged, right? Super sweet kid. He wasn't a kid. He was a grown man, but he was like a kid. He was super sweet. I was asked to stay there and take care of him, and I cried and I cried and I cried because that was rough for you to ask me to do that. I ended up having to leave, though, because he was way too violent. He's still a friend of mine. I you know, I just don't hold grudges like that towards people, you know. I'm just a different soul. Doesn't mean I'm a pushover. I'll fuck you up. I would have shot him, but I couldn't fucking get the gun to cock. You know, threatening to duct tape me to a chair. I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. Pull a gun on me, I'll take that shit from you and I'll fucking shoot you. Yeah, I'm that kind of motherfucker. Sweet, kind, loving. Just push me too far when it's my life against yours. It's never in my repertoire or my thought process that I'm going to be the one to die today. No siree, Bob. So, and it's just conditioning from my life having to fight, you know, getting beat up by boyfriends and shit like that. Super, super mean motherfuckers. And he's a Scorpio. I've just had... You're not only dealing with the 3D realm, but we're dealing with supernatural realms. And when you date, it's like having a bright light, a beacon over you, like, she can hear us and she can, you know, then it's a whole nother ball game. The title of the video where it says ghost stories, the title of the video, I think I put, you know, which world did we, me, wake up to or are in now? And that's so interesting because I don't know how to explain. There's no words for me to put. There's no words. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm sitting. But it doesn't feel real. Feels like I'm above it. Like I'm not quite in it. I don't know how to explain it. I can't find words for something I've never experienced because that's how we get things from our mind, lest they tell me something different. I'm getting chills. When this came out, I'm getting chills, and it's like I keep, for a while, a week or two now, I keep getting this feeling like I want to jump up and run outside, and I'm like going to run into the arms of somebody, you know, run into somebody like from Practical Magic, like we're being called. The fucking devil. Oh, gosh. I will not rule the world with you, devil. You had your chance. You were able to come for me and do whatever you wanted in your sick little game. But I'm still standing. They're not. Now they're just my battle, not replica, not rewards, but trophies. And I'm shoving the last one in that was taken from what was sent. 7 years can be significant. 7 years in 2018 when I heard that trumpet. Wow. And that came out, but then it came out in reverse. Wow. So what about when I heard that trumpet? What about 7 years? Oh, we have another 7. Left 2 as markers. I saw 21, 21. Left 2 as markers and taken the rest. Another 7. A chariot. What's the 7 in Pentacles in reverse, though? Thank you. In reverse. And that flew out in reverse when all these cards are upright. Another 7. And a 2. So many 7s. Why is the 5 of Wands almost at Swords in reverse? And Strength. So we went from 7 to 8 with the Strength card. These just spun on my lap, landed on my leg, and they landed in reverse. So why are those in reverse? I saw this and I heard the illusion. The illusion is what you don't see is that this isn't coming. Be careful. I'm just going to say, this is where your discernment. Everything is meant for us to not go by what we see with our human eyes in the world, but to go with what our soul, what our heart, what our heart tells us, right? And then paying attention to that. That's where the head comes in. This flew out first. I'm feeling like, and there's a lot of sword and fire energy here. So when I said there's a lot of sword and fire energy, I heard, you know, the battling, the thinking of the passion, something about keeping the dream alive, keeping your passion alive, but that's not what was coming up. Anyway, what landed like this in my hand that flipped over is the Sun and 3 of Cups. The Sun comes in on the white horse, right? And it's a baby. The purity. Somebody coming in, the Sun on a horse, your knight in shining armor, comes in, looks like a baby, but because of the innocence. Maybe there's a baby born, that's the Sun. And then the 3 of Cups. So after all of this fuckery, and it's kind of telling the tale of what I was talking about, actually. These cards playing out. Never really getting that 10 of Cups. although it's right there, but there was the devil, right? The black hag looking demon shadow fucking things. But yeah, what you don't see coming is you got the Lovers. That's a 6. The same Lovers. Yeah, the same Lovers that are on here is what they were telling me. So you got, they've broke free from the grips of the devil, from temptations of the world, from their addictions, right? And now they're free. And it's God-given, right? It's that kingdom spouse shit. It's what you don't see. It's upside down. So you got it coming in. You know you have a kingdom spouse. And he's like right outside your door. Literally, I said that whenever you're watching this, whether it's today or whenever, there's somebody out here. When I said that, somebody knocked on their fucking door. I just got chills. Ooh, I just got chills. That's fucking great. Oh. Somebody knocks at the door, hands you something unexpected. You thought that you weren't getting your 10 of Cups, thought that it was stolen, that it was taken, that it wasn't coming, but that was the falsity of it. Wow. That's pretty freaking cool, man. I know I'll think of other things when I click off of here, but I mean, I have, my whole life has been supernatural, full of ghosts and fuckery and evilness, you know? But I'm still standing, I'm still here, and it's okay. And it's okay, because it was always meant. Sometimes we have to be the lamb, we have to be the light, the baby, you know, that's left behind to be raised with wolves, with demons, around demons. And because you were always going to make it out. You were always going to make it out. You're the judgment. I watched this movie, The Order, from 2003, and it had Heath Ledger in it. And it's called, you know, also known as The Sin Eater. And that was so very interesting. And the one thing that was interesting about that, because this is 2003, and they talked about the Dark Pope rises. The Pope behind the Pope, the one I talk about in the red, in my in that ceremony they were doing. And they taught, because he ended up unaliving the American, the one that was going to be the American Pope. We have an American Pope now. But he was making a pact with this whatever to get the votes. To get the votes to be the first American Pope. 2003. Whoa. All I did was pick these up and they all fell out. We're taking them all because, from what I can tell, we're only going to show the top ones first. Talking about popes. Interesting that the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups were in reverse. The Emperor with the Hangman. But we have the Hierophant, the Knight of Wands, the Sun, High Priestess. And it's reminding me of that movie, right? you'll have to watch the order, the Sin Eater. And the different order, Carolean order. Yeah. The Sin Eater is not the one that wanted to be the Pope. It was actually, a cardinal at the Vatican. Oh, God. Movies, I run across movies for a fucking reason. And that, my friends, was it. We're going to go. The juggling, you're moving away from it. I heard free and clear. Leaving all the baggage and just taking, I heard your soul, your spirit with you, just taking you and your human, clothes on your back. Probably not necessarily like that, literally, but, and just going. It's time. What world did you, 3131, what world did you wake up in today? Yeah, you're leaving. Okay? You've been shown the way. I heard you've got forces, unseen forces backing you. And on your path, you will meet. All you have to do is step out. They're out there. They're waiting. Someone out there's been going through similar things as you, and they've broke free as well. But we had to come to it of our own accord, if that's even a thing. Because I feel like I don't have a choice. I guess I always do. I guess I could call up somebody that I know and be like, hey, let's smoke some dope. Fuck it. Let's smoke some fentanyl shit. Not that I want to smoke fentanyl, but they put fentanyl and methamphetamine. So maybe I'll die too. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. The Sin Eater does a ritual. They confess their sins, but he sucks. He eats the bread and eats their sin. Lives it, feels it. Takes their sin from them upon himself. Sounds a lot like what my kind of metaphorical to my life. Very interesting. Takes their sin and, because he's the last hope to take their sin and redeem them and whatever that is, 3333. Right? Because the church won't do it. They're deemed bad. They were excommunicated or whatever, so they don't get the, and this Sin Eater takes on their sin, and he has to live it and feel it like it's his own. And he redeems him, what is that called? Like when you go to confession and your sin forgiven. He does what the church won't allow. And gives them their peace and takes their guilt and sin away from them. And they die. The Sin Eater. Somebody's thinking about me hard because I can smell them. I can smell the human. I can't really smell it like I smell something in the air, but wow, that's all right. So I have a feeling new gifts are arising, and it's way more like something I've never heard of. I've never heard of before. But yeah, gifts I've never heard of before. Ooh, gonna be able to smell. Oh, wow. That's me. I'm a Virgo. There's some Victorian crazy shit going on. Yep, judgment. A judgment. Interesting, I should land on that, and it's in reverse. Should be upright. That's fucking... Nothing is by accident. No longer blocked and left out in the cold. I love you guys. Have a freaking brilliant day. Peace, and thank you for all my new subscribers. I love you. Stay tuned. We've got some... I mean, do I have to reach 1,000? What I really would like to do is be able to do a live where we can communicate. You guys can communicate with one another, and we can communicate back and forth on stories, and you can tell your things and ask questions and do whatever. But I need 1,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Let's get there in a whole different ballgame. That way they can't fuck with us. We could speak to one another right then and there, and until we can meet in person, you know. And that way they can't mess with the technology, the bots, the AI, the fucking demons, the whatever. They can't. So maybe we should make that our goal. I've never made that a goal before, but let's do that. Yeah, thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for 1,000 subscribers so we could fucking really do the damn thing. I don't think you guys realize that soon you'll be getting the downloads. You'll be visited by your angels. You'll be visited by something. You'll just have an inner knowing that it's time for the next step. And we're part of that. I'm part of that. You're part of that.